Okay, so this is just a little follow-up from yesterday. I have now finished soaping my beautiful Matronua deck from Valentina. And it's lovely. I mean, wow. I mean, it just glides. Fantastic. Okay, but that's not what this video is about. Something came up in a Facebook group post about doing deck interviews, and do you do them? And it seemed to me the vast majority of people don't. I love doing them. For me, it's a bonding exercise with the deck, so I don't have any illusions about it being there's some entity or spirit or pre-existing energy in the cards. I think we put that into us ourselves. It's us that creates the magic. And a deck interview for me is kind of like, how is my subconscious responding to this deck? So it's almost like the deck is interviewing me, you could say. I did actually pre-shuffle and pre-draw because I only decided to make the video after I'd already done it. So let's have a look-see. I started off with just the brass tacks, the practical day-to-day stuff. What is this deck about for me? And we've got the King of Coins, Queen of Cups, and Four of Coins. Very earthy kind of spread for me. This card, when I was shuffling, it was actually, my fingers were tingling like crazy. So I'm like, okay, that's the card. I adore this Queen of Cups. I believe it is someone, a personal relationship that has inspired the face and figure of this beautiful Queen of Cups. And then Four of Coins. The thing that really struck me with this particular King of Coins, it's not a card I usually kind of connect with. I just like, I don't feel it. But there was something about this guy, as he's got that very sort of confident emperor pose, the four shape in the legs. The chair struck a chord immediately. A couple of weeks ago I was on holiday and I was sitting in a chair exactly like that. And the bottom kind of reminded me almost of Eight of Swords, you know, when you're in that mental prison. But he's enthroned above the mental prison. He's mastered it. And that's where I see the confidence in him. But humble too. I mean, they've got such beautiful, pleasant faces. They're smiling at each other. I'm a water sign, so I feel like here I am, and I'm a mature woman, not a youngster, so I love the grey in her hair, the maturity in her face, and just that enormous cup of life experience and feeling. And yeah, she's got a lot to give. She's got a lot behind her. I think it's also beautiful the way they're facing each other. They complement each other. He's younger, more confident, I think, in some ways. I would say yes, in a humble way. He's not, his body language is relaxed and confident, but not pushing himself. They're open to each other. She's very open to what's coming from him. So I think I'm getting a strong sense of groundedness with this deck. And I think that's what it will be. It will be a very grounding deck for me to explore reading with this kind of deck, because I'm relatively new to Pips and Tarot de Marseille and Italian decks in actual reading terms. So it's still an exploration for me. What I like really with this card is her staff. The queens in decks often, in the traditional decks, often have a scepter resting on their shoulder. But what I love about this is it's almost like a wand. And I actually have one that I made myself. And I love the sort of groundedness of that, the more earthy kind of spirituality, if I can put it that way. I think for me that's what that wand is what I would call it, rather than a scepter, represents there. It's, yes, she's, you know, the blue, the intuition, she's crowned in blue, the more esoteric, magical, intuitive kind of thing, but it's in a grounded way, an earth-connected way, which I think ties quite nicely back to this King of Coins. He's the King of Earth. He's practical. He's sensible, and it also reminds me of something I was reading quite some time ago now in Christopher Ponset's book about Marsilio Ficino's academy in Italy that he had. And he reminds me of one of those Renaissance gentlemen at the academy, you know, discussing the philosophy and ideas and art and possibly even the creation of a tarot deck to pass on the wisdom in this map or hieroglyphic form that we have here. So I see the two of them almost in conversation. He's got the groundedness to offer, she's got that emotional insight. And then with the Four of Coins, it feels like a very stable relationship. It's like there's structure and groundedness, but it is a window into this feminine here, this intuitive. It's almost like you're looking into the sky here, connecting back to the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Water. It's like you've got this stable structure with this deck that's going to offer an insight, a deeper insight, or a higher insight. So yeah, I take it as like in a practical sense, this is going to be a practical, grounded, useful deck. Perfect for me. I think this is me sitting here. Perhaps learning the sort of common sense kind of approach of a King of Coins, but with that humble interest and sharing of knowledge. Yeah. Okay, so that's the practical stuff. And then I thought, okay, well, let's have a look at the majors, what I call the sort of like the more spiritual message from the deck. And the first card I got was the Fool. I mean, gosh, couldn't be more perfect. And then the Hierophant, which actually also came out yesterday's video when I was doing the soaping of the deck video. That card came out as well. And then the next card was Il Bagato, the Magician. Il Papa. So what I'm seeing here is take a chance, luck's on your side, go for it, be brave. The little terrier. I mean, terriers are such, I'm going to say yappy dogs, but they're sort of bloody-minded determination. It reminds me of that voice on your shoulder that says, no, you can't, don't do it. And here the Fool, he's diving into this journey, this spiritual journey. And then we have Il Papa, and I feel like with the Fool, there's a suggestion here that we're either at the initiation or the apprentice stage with this kind of reading on this deck. And the Pope is blessing whichever card lies to the right. And that's Il Bagato, the Magician. And he's, in my mind, kind of like the ultimate apprentice. So it's possibly moving from initiation to apprentice stage. This card is telling me you've got to gather everything you need for this process, and it's an act of will. You create what you want from this, and that's for me the plan, to create with this deck, to generate something more, to embody my own will, and the will of higher purpose too. Yeah, it feels like very positive guidance to move ahead. It's early stages. These are early stage cards. The hinge in the middle here, I call it the hinge card, the middle card, is the Pope. The seeking wisdom, the act of seeking wisdom, and the act of becoming wiser too. And I think the message here is dive in and do. The journey's blessed. So yesterday's video was very long. I'm going to keep this short. I drew one more card because yesterday was ridiculous. I was so nervous about making a video. Clearly YouTube is not in my future. But one of the aspects of the Magician card that I discovered is that he's often to do with, in modern readings, to do with journalism, blogging, getting out there on social media. And I wasn't going to make another video, and I thought, well, you know what, maybe that's the message. Maybe the message is make another video, give it a go. So that's what I'm doing. But yesterday I was so nervous that I actually made myself ill before making that video. So how ridiculous is that? So I asked this deck, what was that about? And I drew the Five of Swords. Well, yeah, not surprising. I mean, breaking through that kind of mental boundaries we put on ourselves. And it's a 5, it's related to the Pope. It's, I think, having perseverance to break through those mental boundaries that we set up for ourselves. I mean, nothing's cut here, but it's pushing through. And I think that's the message yesterday, was I needed to push through. I mean, it's buds. Nothing's grown, nothing's happened yet, but the bud doesn't become a flower unless it shows perseverance. And perhaps that will lead to some kind of breakthrough for me. I don't know. But it's to show resolve and have courage as well, to have courage to take this journey. Yeah, so that was the higher messages, if I can call it that. And then I don't usually pair decks. I don't believe it's necessary to have 2 or 3 different tarot decks for one reading, so I don't do that kind of pairing. If I were to, I think this deck, which is the Pagan Otherworlds deck, is the one I'd use. So I thought, well, you know, this is just a fun, light-hearted interview. This is, you know, don't take any of this too seriously. It's just me getting to know the deck. So I thought I'd draw a card, you know, from Pagan Otherworlds about this process, this journey I'm on now with the beautiful Matronua deck, and the Moon card. I mean, how perfect is that? A different version of the Moon card, but this Moon card is also beautiful. It's a blend of the sort of standard imagery we see with something a little bit different. And I'm seeing this message as being, this is a gateway deck for me. It's a path through. Normally we have the pillars and, you know, the crayfish down here. We don't have the crayfish in this image. We have this pool of the subconscious, of inner knowing. We have the tame wolf, and the tame dog and the wild wolf, and there's the gateway. So I'm thinking this card is suggesting, this is saying that the Matronua is going to be a real gateway for me for connecting to my higher self, my intuition, that feminine knowing energy, feminine intuition, I think they call it. But yeah, it's and the wateriness of the card as well. Yeah, I think it's just a beautiful bit of serendipity that the moon card came out with that. Anyway, so that's just a little deck interview. Thanks for watching if you do.